Okay, so buckle up because we're diving headfirst into some seriously messy Hollywood drama. I'm talking Will Smith, Jada Pinkett Smith, and a whole bunch of allegations that are frankly mind-blowing. This isn't your average celebrity gossip. This is like next-level scandal that could potentially change everything we thought we knew about some of these A-listers. The main source of all this craziness, a guy named Brother Bilal. Now, Bilal isn't just some random internet troll. He's claiming to be a former friend and assistant to Will Smith, and he's been spilling some serious tea, mainly on Tasha K's show and other platforms. He's basically saying that Will and Jada have been running a seriously messed up operation behind the scenes for years. The biggest bombshell? Allegations involving Bryshere Gray, who you might remember from the show Empire. Bilal claims Will Smith essentially admitted to him that he assaulted Bryshere. I know, it's a heavy accusation, and we're going to unpack it all. Apparently, according to Bilal, Bryshere was in a really bad place, acting erratically, and eventually confessed that Will Smith assaulted him and that Diddy also assaulted him, and that Charlie Mack made him perform oral sex. It's a whole tangled web of accusations. Bilal claims that Will admitted to having intercourse with Bryshere, but said it was consensual. However, Bilal says that Bryshere told Will to stop at one point, but Will finished anyway. And Bilal is arguing that even if it started consensual, once someone says stop, it's assault, period. He also says there is paperwork to prove this. But it gets even crazier. Bilal is alleging that Will and his team tried to get him to sign an NDA, even though Bilal didn't even have an NDA with Will himself. He hired a lawyer who negotiated a mutual NDA, meaning Bryshere couldn't talk about what happened with Will and Diddy, and Bilal couldn't talk about it either. Now let's talk about Bryshere Gray for a minute. After his time on Empire, things seemed to go downhill for him. There was that incident where he was arrested for allegedly assaulting his wife, and honestly, he just seemed to be struggling. There have been rumors for years that Bryshere was taken advantage of in the industry, and Bilal's allegations are adding fuel to that fire. There's also this whole mentorship angle that Bilal is bringing up. He claims that Will Smith uses these mentorships as a way to lure in young men, promising them career advancement, but then allegedly things take a dark turn. It's basically like, hey, I'm gonna help you make it big, and then allegedly exploiting them. It's a really disturbing picture that Bilal is painting. And then there's Jada. Bilal claims that Jada hates him because he has a strong relationship with Will and does his own thing. He even alleges that Jada threatened him after he started spilling the tea, saying he would end up missing or catch a bullet. He's even filed a lawsuit against her for $3 million, accusing her of threatening his life. He says Jada called him a bald-head liar and an addict. The guy is not holding back. He says that Jada runs Will. Period. That it's a war between him and Jada. He also dared her to sue him, saying that if she didn't, he was going to name names and expose all the salacious stuff she's allegedly done. He even brought up something about Jada hitting men with dildo. I mean, this is some wild stuff. Bilal seems convinced that he has the goods on Will and Jada, and he's not afraid to share them. The question is, how much of it is true, and what will be the fallout from all these allegations? Okay, but there's even more to this Bryshere Gray situation. So apparently, according to Jaguar Wright, Bryshere's mom, Andrea Mayberry, was allegedly in on this whole thing. Like, she knew what was happening and allowed Charlie Mack to pimp her son out to Will and Diddy for career advancement. Can you even imagine? Jaguar Wright went all the way in, saying Andrea was nothing but a drug dealer who snitched on people to get ahead. She claims that Andrea knew what Will did to Bryshere. She even said that after Cassie filed her lawsuit against Diddy, Bryshere was also planning on suing Will and Diddy, but he was threatened and had to back down because his life was in danger. And then there's this whole secret tape that Jaguar Wright claims exists. She says it shows Justin Bieber, Will, Jaden, Diddy, and Bryshere all having some kind of freak-off. She claims she's one of the few people who has seen it. I mean, if that's true, that's just insane. It's also alleged that Will has this weird obsession with controlling his kids. Jaguar Wright claims that Jaden moved out of Will's house when he was 15 because he couldn't take it anymore. Now, I don't know if that's true, but it definitely adds to this whole disturbing picture that's being. And get this, apparently Bilal told Jaguar Wright everything. She even said that Jada knew what Will was doing to boys, including her own son, and didn't do anything about it. I mean, if that's true, that's just beyond messed up. Bilal is going hard after Jada, calling her a raging sociopath and accusing her of letting Will do all these things without stopping him. He filed that $3 million lawsuit against her, claiming she threatened his life after he refused to be silent. He alleges that Jada confronted him and told him that if he kept telling her personal business, he would end up missing or catch a bullet. He also claims she demanded he sign an NDA. It's like she's trying to silence him at all costs. Now, people have definitely been reacting to all of this. Some are saying that if young men were running screaming out of the Smiths' house, that says a lot. Others are criticizing Bilal for exposing Bryshere's struggles, saying he had no right to share such personal information. But honestly, this whole situation is just a mess. It's hard to know what's true and what's not, but the allegations are so serious that they can't be ignored. I mean, if even a fraction of what Bilal is saying is true, then Will and Jada have some serious explaining to do. The question is, will Bryshere Gray ever come out and tell his side of the story? Will we ever see this alleged tape? And what will be the long-term consequences for Will and Jada's careers and reputations? Only time will tell, but one thing is for sure, this is a story that's far from over. It's like a never-ending soap opera, but with real-life implications and potentially devastating consequences for everyone involved. Okay, so you're probably wondering, like, what does Will Smith even have to say about all this? Because so far, it's just been Bilal and Jaguar Wright throwing accusations left and right. Well, that's the thing, right? Will has been mostly silent, like radio silence, which honestly speaks volume. I mean, if someone was out there saying all this crazy stuff about you, wouldn't you be screaming from the rooftops that it's all lies? Wouldn't you be lawyering up and slapping lawsuits on everyone? But Will's been pretty quiet, and Jada's response was like super quick and then nothing. It's almost like they're trying to make it go away by just ignoring it. But that never works, does it? Especially not in the age of the internet. Once something's out there, it's out there forever. And people are going to keep talking about it, keep speculating, keep digging for the truth. And you know who else is probably not too happy about all this? Diddy. I mean, he's already dealing with a mountain of his own problems right now, with all the allegations against him. And now Will Smith's name is being thrown into the mix thanks to Bilal. It's like a domino effect of scandal. What's really messed up is the whole Bryshere Gray of it all. This dude was on top of the world with empire, and now he's allegedly been through all this trauma and his career is basically in the toilet. Like, imagine the psychological damage that would do to someone. And if his own mother was allegedly involved, that's a whole nother level of messed up. It's like, who can you even trust at that point? It's just a really tragic situation all around. I'm really interested to see if Bryshere ever speaks out. I mean, he's been through so much and it's his story to tell, but I can also understand why he might not want to. It's probably incredibly painful to relive all that, especially with the whole world watching. And what about Jaden? If it's true that he moved out at 15 because he couldn't handle what was going on in that house, that's just heartbreaking. No kid should have to go through that. It makes you wonder what kind of environment Will and Jada created for their children. Honestly, this whole thing is just a reminder that you never really know what goes on behind closed doors in Hollywood. These celebrities, they put on this perfect image for the cameras, but who knows what they're really like? It's easy to get caught up in the glitz and glamour, but sometimes there's a really dark side to it all. I think the biggest takeaway from all of this is that power can corrupt. And when you have that much power and influence, it's easy to abuse it, and that's what Bilal is alleging happened here. Will Smith allegedly used his power to take advantage of Bryshere Gray and others. Whether it's true or not, it's definitely something to think about. And it's a reminder that we need to hold these celebrities accountable for their actions, even if they are rich and famous, because at the end of the day, they're still just people, and they need to be held to the same standards as everyone else.